Hey, what's up? What you're about to see is a short movie I made about one man's trash being another man's treasure. Several months ago, I came into this piece of hardware that was just really poor quality. It was really beaten up. It was an old skateboard. And for years, I've been really into refurbishing skateboards and making them brand new, sanding them down, making them real nice, designing them, and making them rideable again. So I made it a goal that this really horrible skateboard, that I was going to do it to that too, and it was the biggest skateboard flip I ever did. It was probably the most challenging skateboard refurbish I've ever, no, it was the most challenging skateboard refurbish I've ever done. It took months to complete. A lot of literal blood, sweat, and tears went into it. Well, maybe not tears, why would I cry about it? But yeah, it was a really grueling process, but I finally got it done. A couple disclaimers. One, this is not greatest skateboard flip video. That's not what this is. What this actually is I'm flipping a skateboard. You know how they flip cars? They take junky cars and they flip them, they refurbish them completely and make them into really nice cars. That's what I mean. I'm flipping the skateboard. Another disclaimer. The first half of this movie is really old footage from 3 whole months ago. I honestly started production on the skateboard close to the beginning of this YouTube channel, where my work ethic was really strong, but my production value wasn't, so it may appear to be a little carelessly, put together, but that's because in just the course of 4 months, I've learned so much about how to create better flowing videos for YouTube. If you compare my very first video to my very latest video, you're going to see a very big difference. So that's about the first half of the movie. After that is more recent footage and more recent editing, so it's going to get progressively better. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoy it. What's up, people? Most of you may know that I'm really into skateboards and stuff. Building boards, custom designing boards, fixing and refurbishing boards. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Well, that being said, check out the ultimate piece of crap that I have here. This is so bad that I don't think it was ever a skateboard at one point. Look how horrible this is. I probably wouldn't be able to sell this for a nickel on eBay. You may be wondering, what am I doing with half a piece of crap? I'll tell you what I'm doing with it. I'm going to turn it into a half a piece of awesome. Alright, let's get to work. First I tried using a regular skateboard tool and a screwdriver, but the screws were in such bad shape that didn't even slightly work. Then for more leverage I tried pliers and a wrench, but the screws were fused, so that was hopeless too. So I brought out more powerful tools. I put gloves and face protection on and started cutting away at the steel. It took me days to get the trucks off this way, but it was the only way that worked. I was sweating and sparks were flying, but eventually the screws were getting cut completely through. A day later I had the first truck off, 2 days after that I had the second. Then I got to work on the deck. I started chipping and scraping away at the layers of house paint that caked the board. That took days to sell too, and I eventually had to bring it out into the fire escape because of the huge mess it was making on my desk. I was finally done, but the wood was still in pretty bad shape. It was scraped and scratched and not pretty. I could tell why the previous owner had painted over it. So I got assorted sandpaper, a rotary tool, and lacquer. Wait, no, polyurethane. Maybe lacquer too? No lacquer. The sandpaper makes a lot of sawdust, and the polyurethane is unhealthy to use indoors, and I live with a family, so I brought it right back outside. I grounded down the abrasive edges with the Dremel, and spent hours and hours and hours sanding. My arm was exhausted. I sprayed layers of polyurethane over the deck and then sanded after that to create a smoother finish. Spraying and sanding, spraying and sanding, spraying and sanding. I started out with coarse sandpaper and then slowly progressed to finer and finer sheets. When it was a completely smooth piece of wood, I hit it with several final layers of polyurethane and it was done. Oh, and I also added a fresh sheet of grip tape. A question that might pop into the heads of some of the people watching this video is, why go through the trouble? You know, what's the point? Why not just buy a new skateboard? And the answer, good people, to that is, I am a firm believer of associating beauty to whatever you can. I'm very adamant about appreciating art in all of its forms, and I believe that nothing is truly, truly garbage unless it's completely and utterly destroyed and there's absolutely nothing that you can do to it. Then fine, get rid of it, buy a new one. But if there's potential work that can be done on something to bring it back to life and for it to have a purpose again, I see no reason in throwing things away. We live in a very wasteful society. I think people are very lazy. People don't want to put a little bit of extra work into something to get a product. People would just rather throw something away and buy a new one. Just like a couple months ago, I was walking by on the street and somebody had left a perfectly good office chair outside. They had thrown it away because, you know, the little thing that you spin on the chair was broken. I checked it out, the reclining was working, the up and down feature was working, it was clean, wasn't even scratched. So I took it and I brought it home and... Ow! Ah! Woo! It's a perfectly good chair. So that's why I'm doing this. Yeah, this thing's a piece of garbage, but underneath all the nastiness was a very good quality skateboard deck, you know? It was good wood. And skateboard decks are expensive, man. A good one, 50 bucks, 60 bucks. I also had a couple of old trucks. I used a buffing tool on and I cleaned them and painted them and they're good as new too. And the only things I had to buy were some fresh wheels and some grip tape. I spent maybe $30, $35 total on this board as opposed to spending $120 on a new one. You know, you look at something and you see trash, but I encourage you people to look at things from a different angle. Because right now, all you see is me and the back wall of my room and where I work. But if you were to look at things from a different angle, then you'll see the fourth wall being broken. You'll see the camera that I'm filming myself on. You'll see a light pointed directly at myself while I film. And you'll see the mess of empty cups and dirty napkins behind the camera. See, things aren't always what they seem. So when you look at things from a different angle, you see something completely different. You're seeing things from this angle, which is one image. This is what you see. But look at things from this angle and it's something completely different. Things aren't always what they seem. Same goes with anything. I saw this old skateboard. I said, hey, this thing looks old, but let me look at it from a different angle. Because there's a good board under here. And I know I can flip it. And it took 4 months, but I did it. That being said, the rest of this movie is more recent footage on the better camera, edited with more effort on better editing software. And yeah, let's get back to it.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I then spent the next few days working on a custom design for the bottom of the board. Then I sealed that in with a layer of polyurethane. I also added a bunch of awesome stickers to give the board more character. I
I signed the bottom of the deck and screwed the trucks back on, and the board was finally completely done.
I like the sticker choice.
I feel like I've run down